1 week before UFC 315, the fight game did what it does best: flip the table and dare us to keep pace. A fan-favorite prospect was humbled, a main card bout vanished overnight, and the pound-for-pound king suddenly smelled welterweight gold. Stick around, because the shockwaves from Des Moines to Montreal are only getting louder. Renier de Ridder didn't just beat Bo Nickal, he dismantled the aura that had followed the three-time NCAA champ since his Contender Series debut. From the first exchange, RDR's stance, switches, half steps, and shoulder feints froze Nickal's normally relentless shot entries. When Bo finally fired the double leg that made him a collegiate legend, de Ridder angled off, framed with his left forearm, and answered with a digging knee to the liver that stole the American's breath. The second round turned into a clinic on pressure counter grappling. RDR used collar tie pummeling to punish every level change, then trapped Nickal against the fence, ripping left hooks to the floating ribs until a final knee folded him in on himself. As the ref waved it off, de Ridder calmly walked to the camera, asked how soon Montreal flights left Des Moines, and told Sean Strickland to pack a mouthpiece. Behind the bravado sat calculation. RDR had already asked his coaches to keep his weight within 3 pounds of 185 in case matchmakers called. His jiu-jitsu black belt under Rene Roos and decade of Dutch kickboxing combine into a style built for chaos, tight elbows inside the clinch, low kicks that chew bases apart, and an underrated gas tank forged by marathon swim sessions back home in Breda. Middleweight's established guard suddenly has a lanky judo black belt stalking its rankings, and nobody quite knows where the ceiling is. The internet didn't grant Nickal a mourning period. It blitzed him with memes before he left the arena's X-ray room. Screenshots of his college highlights played side by side with gifs of the knockout, sarcastic captions like, "From Hodge Trophy to hobbled in 8 fights." Fighters joined the pile on, some playful, some savage. One journeyman tweeted that Bo should be in federal prison for believing body shots don't hurt wrestlers, while another mocked the hype by overlaying Nickal's post-KO face onto stock photos of plumbers, suggesting a career change. Yet amid the noise, a chorus of wrestlers offered perspective. Demetrius Johnson recalled how a liver shot from Cruz rearranged his own ambitions before he clawed to championship heights, and Chael Sonnen reminded followers that GSP's first UFC fight ended in a bloody mess before he became an icon. Technical analysts broke down the flaw. Nickal's stance remains square when he feints, leaving the right side of his torso exposed, and his striking, though improved, still telegraphs level changes with a hip dip visible from the cheap seats. Coaches at American Top Team reportedly want Bo sparring longer rounds with heavy body kickers to condition his core and instincts. The theme is clear: aura is a mortgage, and every lost exchange is interest due. How Nickal responds. Does he chase an immediate rematch, or take a gritty veteran like Gerald Meerschaert first, may dictate whether the hype machines spool back up or move on to the next blue-chip wrestler? While social media roasted, UFC 315's lineup sprang a leak. Joel Alvarez posted an MRI of a fractured third metacarpal, his glove hand, explaining he can't even shadow box for 3 weeks. That single crack created a domino effect. Benoit Saint-Denis, France's surging lightweight with a paratrooper's toughness, suddenly faced a paycheck gut punch. No fight, no purse, unless the UFC found a stand-in. Grant Dawson, fresh off a weight-cut horror story last camp, declined, citing safety. His latest DEXA scan showed he'd still be 182 on fight week.
Couple of years, actually, that knee, so I've been really working on it. In the other fight, he had a lot of more weight over his front leg, so it was very low with his head, so the plan was to get him to the body a couple times and upstairs with the knee. But I think he saw something coming because he had his head back a little bit.
Enter Mauricio Ruffy, a Brazilian brawler on a 5-fight knockout streak in LFA, who jumped on X with a photoshopped fight poster and a caption, "Visa ready, Montreal loves blood." Fans buzzed, but logistics bit back. Ruffy's Canadian entry letter was approved, yet Athletic Commission protocol demands baseline neurological testing that can't be completed before weigh-ins. Behind the scenes, matchmakers fired emails to Jim Miller's management, Mateus Rebecki, even Clay Guida, each weighing risk-reward calculations. If no dance partner materializes, the UFC may elevate another bout, possibly Brad Katona versus Adrian Yanez, onto the pay-per-view. But that leaves a French star without Montreal spotlight and dense local ticket buzz. Dana White hates dead air. Expect a wildcard announcement in the final 48 hours, even if it involves a contracted catchweight or a late-shifted co-main event. Welterweight, meanwhile, feels like speed chess. One blunder and the board flips.
Vou mandar recado carinhoso pro Islam Makhachev. Tá aqui? Islam, deixa eu te falar, irmão. Eu sei que você tá chateado comigo porque eu bati no seu melhor amigo. Aproveita os seus dias como rei, porque o novo rei da categoria chegou. Tô devagar. Yeah, that's me, and I have a...
Belal Muhammad has spent years grinding with little fanfare. 22 UFC fights, a recent switch to altitude training in Colorado Springs, and a style built on suffocating cage control. Yet opposite him stands Jack Della Maddalena, a Perth knockout artist who slices livers for sport. JDM's bodywork could neutralize Belal's cardio edge, and his inside boxing is crisp enough to win exchanges without giving up takedown entries. Overshadowing their duel is Islam Makhachev's plan for two-division glory. If Belal hoists the belt, Islam stays loyal and remains at 155. If Belal stumbles, Islam's management has quietly reserved biomedical passports for a September Perth pay-per-view. Fans debate fairness. Should the lightweight champ leapfrog killers like Shavkat Rakhmonov? History says dominance sells. Conor McGregor got a lightweight title shot without cleaning featherweight's yard, and Daniel Cormier fought for heavyweight gold while holding light heavy. Even Leon Edwards' camp sees upside. A future unification scrap equals double belts on a poster. Marial's welterweight outcome, in other words, could dictate who headlines 3 different pay-per-views before Christmas.
And I'm good. I want to be in the cage. I want to stay active because I don't want to sit out. You don't know, it's so easy to get injured in practices when you're not training and stuff like that, that I was like, I have to stay active, stay ready, and it's just another step. They don't think I can beat them, and I just...
Arman Sarukans unintentionally threw kerosene on that scheduling fire. During a Russian Sports 24 sit-down, he mused that Ilia Topuria's compact frame might let him slip inside Islam's jab, plant an overhand, and turn the lights off. The comment alone was spicy. Calling a Mateusz Gamrot rematch disrespectful was napalm. Twitter's MMA corner exploded. Some called Arman delusional for snubbing a foe who already owns a win over him. Others applauded a self-respect flex. UFC brass run on opportunity math, and Arman's equation now looks shaky. Dustin Poirier accepted Benoit Saint-Denis on 7 days' notice and vaulted back to relevance. Arman, still recovering from an ankle ligament sprain, passed and saw Topuria leapfrog him in headlines. To complicate things, Arman's American wrestling coach leaked sparring videos showing him limping post-session, hoping to quash ducking narratives. But perception is currency. If fans believe you're picky, your leverage erodes. Now, Sarukian's team is weighing an autumn clash with Rafael dos Anjos or Turner, fights that keep him parked at number 3, but lack the Gamrot revenge arc sizzle. It's the perilous dance of rankings politics. One public misstep, and the title picture spins away. Roster churn underscores the ruthlessness of that ecosystem.
Long time for recovery, and I thought he can beat him because Gage lost his fight, he got knocked out, so. And that's why I thought, like, Fiziev, he's younger, and so this is
Brad Tavares, tied with Michael Bisping for most middleweight wins, learned he was cut via a PR email before he'd even ordered post-fight pancakes. 15 UFC years gone in one subject line. Contender Series rookies on $14,000 show contracts arrive every season, and Ledger Math forces exits. Simultaneously, Extreme Couture mastermind Eric Nixick went on the Jackson podcast and casually detailed how he feeds opponent footage into ChatGPT to generate drill sequences. 3 counters every time Fighter X drops his right hand, then prints laminated cards for sparring partners. Some fans balked at robots coaching humans, yet champions like Francis Ngannou and Sean Strickland swear by Nixick's corner calls. Behind closed doors, other gyms are experimenting too. ATT analyst Chimene Diaz runs Python scripts to identify clinch patterns, and Factory X reportedly built an in-house model predicting fighter fatigue markers from heart rate telemetry. Technology is replacing the old-school eyeball test, and veterans who can't adapt risk obsolescence. As computer-generated game plans edge into mainstream camps, the next frontier could be live, between round analytics piped into earpieces, assuming commissions ever approve it. Main card chaos, shattered hype trains, and champions eyeing new thrones, UFC 315 feels less like a sporting event and more like a lit fuse nobody dares snuff out. Montreal's Bell Center could witness a reborn Bo Nickal storming the crowd for redemption, Sean Strickland jawing with Rainier de Ritter on a week's prep, or Islam Makhachev pacing floorside, calculating whether to seize a second belt. Yet another curveball, an inconclusive COVID test, a weigh-in feint, a last-second medical kickout could force the UFC to rearrange every poster overnight. For fans, that uncertainty is intoxicating. Every headline feels like a cliffhanger, every rumor a spark. So buckle up, fire your boldest prediction into the comments. Does Nickal recover? Does Bilal smother JDM? Does Islam really chase 170? And if ride or die MMA drama is your oxygen, hit subscribe. We'll navigate the carnage together, one plot twist at a time.